The 32nd annual Survivor Series takes place from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. And this show has the task of following last night's NXT TakeOver War Games 2, which it will not do. This show has no chance of being as good as that, but it can still be a good show. It has a decent enough card, in my opinion, to have a good show, especially with the two main matches. So on the pre-show, it's a typical pre-show bullshit, typical same announcers talking about the same WWE talking points. You have Jonathan Coachman, you have Booker T, he's in a note. You have Beth Phoenix, or I guess she's permanent now, and I think you have David Otunga. It's kind of boring. The actual, the second hour of the pre-show is when we start off with the first match. We have the big tag team match. So I guess the Cruiserweights are actually going to be on the main show. Believe it or not, we're going to see the Cruiserweights on the main show. Wow. We have all the Raw tag teams against all the SmackDown tag teams. It has the original Survivor Series format in which if you beat one member of a tag team, both guys are out. So that's fine. And plus, it'll take forever to get through everyone. So in this match, SmackDown wins. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. New Day was great here. I did get the impression New Day were a lot more over than the Usos, even though the Usos survived. They were just sole survivors. And the match was a lot of fun. It was also cool to see the Revival get a decent spotlight here. They were the last two. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of good spots. There was Big E doing that big spear, which I think is just going to die one day doing that. They had a lot of false finishes. Usos got the win, but I did think the match went down when the New Day was out because New Day were the most over team. So after that match, they go to a backstage segment with Alexa Bliss, and she's with the whole Raw team except Ruby Riott and Natalya. So supposedly Ruby Riott and Natalya cannot get along, so Alexa Bliss has decided she has to replace them, and she found two other people to be a part of her team. I wonder who it is. It's Bayley and Sasha Banks. So Bayley and Sasha officially joined Alexa's team. Alexa's still captain. It's going to be Bayley, Sasha, Mickey, Nia, and Tamina. If Nia, I'm not going to get into it anymore. She's going to be so fucking hated here. But yeah, I hope Team SmackDown wins that. But Sasha Banks and Bayley, I guess it makes sense to not have Ruby and Natalya, but I don't know what they were doing in that last moment. So I guess you won't see a horsewoman. If Bayley and Sasha are going to be part of this, I don't see them being part of that whole four horsewoman. I don't think you'll see anything. I think Ronda Charlotte's just going to be a regular match. So that is a little noteworthy. So the rest of the show is just them previewing. Same boring, WWE talking points. So, yeah, that's it for the pre-show. We'll see how they do with the main show. We'll see if the Survivor Series is a great show. I hope it is. The show started off with the women's elimination match, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. So as all the women came out, there was one thing that was noticeable. Not most of the women got decent reactions, but there was one reaction that really stood out, and that was the fans savagely booing the living shit out of Nia Jax. I don't even know that was possible, but it was. They booed the fuck out of Nia. They booed her like crazy. It was fuck you for injuring Becky. They just hated her. I knew, oh shit, Nia's getting a win and she's getting a big push. Nia's gonna be a sole survivor. She's getting a push. They fucking hate Nia Jax. And it's like, yeah, it's like she legitimately shot on Becky Lynch. She legitimately injured her. It was not a situation where it was a botch. She shot on Becky Lynch, and she's going to get a big push. She'll lose to Becky or Ronda. But yeah, I knew for sure Nia was going to win, so I kind of really couldn't get into the match. Naomi got eliminated quickly by Tamina. Not a good look for Naomi. You had Carmella get a cheap roll up over Tamina, and they're going to push Tamina and Nia. Tamina's terrible. After that, they had Bayley eliminate Carmella, and I think that's actually the first time they've actually wrestled on the main roster. I actually know they're best friends in real life. Some people might not know that, but they're actually really close. But Bayley eliminates her. After that, Mickey goes after Mandy and Sonya fight to eliminate her, and Mandy gets the cheap win. Sasha Banks eliminates Mandy Rose with the bank statement, makes her tap, and then the match goes on for a while. They go for a while without eliminations, but then Sonya Deville and Bayley have a double count out. It was weird. I don't know why I didn't want to beat either of them. They beat Bayley every single week, and with Sonya Deville, it's not like she's getting a major push or anything. I don't think so. I don't know why they had to do a double count out. It comes down to Sasha and I against Asuka, and automatically they can tell it's going to happen. Sasha and Asuka are going to go on for a while. The crowd was into it. They really liked Asuka. That was a good sign for Asuka. Asuka and Sasha having a really good match. You can tell Sasha's really motivated to wrestle. They had Alexa Bliss on the outside with Nia Jax the entire time. It's like she's beside Nia. We know what's going to happen. It's like it's so obvious. So Nia turns on Sasha, so I assume it's Sasha losing to Nia Jax, getting destroyed on Raw. I assume that's what's going to happen next, and eventually Asuka eliminates Sasha with the Asuka lock, and then Nia Jax comes and destroys Asuka, and Nia wins. So Nia and Alexa celebrate. I hope they don't have to do something where Alexa is Nia's manager. Oh, God. I hate that. I hate Nia, man. It's fucking bullshit. But they know what they're doing. It's the fans' fault. You know, hey, you react that way to someone, they'll push them. We all know Nia fucked up. You know, she didn't fuck up. She legitimately injured Becky, but this is what the company does. They do a backstage segment with the general manager. It kind of sucked. I didn't really care about. I don't care for Baron Corbin or whoever. I don't even remember which one. If it was Raw or SmackDown, mentioning LeBron James.
I don't understand why these two have to go so
Rollins
long.
and Nakamura.
Why? Why does it have to go like 22 minutes? What's the reason for that? I couldn't get into this match. I missed a part of it, I'll be honest. I just couldn't. I could care less about this. Mainly because my attitude with Shinsuke Nakamura is, I know you don't give a shit. I know you are phoning it in. I know that you're not putting 100% into this like you did in Japan. You're here for your paycheck. You're completely, taking advantage of this company and the amount of money they gave you, and you're not trying to hurt us. Seth Rollins has great matches with everyone, but he can't have a good match with you. This was still good. It wasn't a bad match, but it was like the AJ matches. They were mostly decent. It's just, we know Nakamura is a great wrestler, and we know how much more he's capable of, and the guy's just phoning it in. He refuses to work hard, and he has that reputation. So I'm bored at Nakamura. I hope he leaves. Go back to Japan, Nakamura. I don't want to see you anymore. You're one of my least favorite acts on the main roster because I know you don't even try. So please leave, Nakamura. I don't want to see you back. You lazy bastard, man. I hate to say that, but I really hope he goes back to Japan. This is fucking boring as fuck. I don't care about either of these guys wrestling. It had no story. I could care less. But Rollins won. So, by the way, that puts up Raw 2-0. So, I'm thinking to myself, 2-0 also means that the kickoff show doesn't count. The big tag team match didn't count. All right, that was really weird to me. Why wouldn't did they count that? That was probably, it was advertised on the show. Even though it's on a kickoff, they wouldn't count it. But the way the show ended, maybe it would make more sense. Next was I don't know what this is. I don't know how to explain this match. It was kind of a clusterfuck. I'm going to call it the piss fest of the night. This was a disaster. Everything about this match was a fucking embarrassment. And half of it wasn't even the company's fault. Little old Enzo Amore decides to invade Survivor Series. Enzo Amore is in disguise. He has like a hat over his head. He's in the first row or the second row of Survivor Series in the Staples Center in LA. And he begins to draw all this attention to himself. I clearly noticed it. I saw all over social media. I saw a million videos in the crowd. Enzo is going crazy. He's pulling the stunt. He is just embarrassing. He is invading Survivor Series. It's all over the internet. It's all over Twitter. He starts calling attention to himself, and then everybody in the audience is losing their shit. They're cheering for Enzo. He gets tackled by security, and he was dealt with the police. I don't know why he was dealt with the police. All he did was go there and, he has a right, even though he's a fired employee. Everyone has a right to go buy a ticket. It's not like he's banned from him ever entering an arena, but this was a fucking embarrassment, and, yeah. Nothing else to say, but Enzo being Enzo, I guess. This was fucking crazy. I think there's a better chance of seeing Enzo back in the WWE than Big Cass, because if you see the amount of weight Big Cass has put on, yeah, I think Enzo probably still has a better shot. But this was just stupid, man. I don't even know. This guy, he was arrested earlier in the week for vaping on a plane. He shouldn't be arrested. He didn't technically break the law. What did he really do? It's just, the guy's just a douchebag, but he shouldn't be arrested. Anyway, the match had Drake Maverick pissing his pants. Yes, it did. They had to have Drake Maverick piss his pants. And the match ended with the AOP winning. This was fucking horrible. Easily the worst match of the night. It was a fucking joke. So next was the Cruiserweight title. Buddy Murphy defending his title against Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali has a lot of potential. He'll eventually win the title. Buddy Murphy retains. Just a great winner at life. The Cruiserweight Championship and Alexa Bliss. So, congratulations to Mr. Buddy Murphy. This wasn't a horrible match. This was actually a good match. This is kind of a situation where I was afraid the match would die a death, and the crowd wasn't too hot for it, but they got into it near the end. I think Ali has a lot of potential. Buddy Murphy kept the belt. It was fine. I never watch any 205 Live, so I don't follow it. I don't know anything's going on. All I know is the champion is, and Buddy Murphy beats Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali's now lost at Survivor Series and at WrestleMania, so maybe he's eventually going to get a big title win. But Ali, he definitely has some star potential, I think. Not star potential, it's 205 Live star potential, if you know what I mean. So up next, we had the men's elimination match. And throughout the night, they were doing various segments backstage, and I don't know, I had mixed feelings about this match. There was a lot of action in it. There was a lot of stuff that was good. It's just the Shane McMahon stuff is just so annoying. It's the same thing as last year. He gets to the final, two, or he's one of the last members of his team, then he loses at the end. It's like every year, the guy's been in 3 straight elimination matches. And it just sucks, man. I don't know. It is what it is. So, they were teasing stuff with Braun Strowman having tension with the whole Raw team. On Raw, you had Braun, you had Dolph Ziggler, you had Drew McIntyre, you had Finn Balor, and you had Bobby Lashley. And on SmackDown, you had Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy. I don't know why I picked SmackDown to win when you look at the lineup of stars. But Raw won, and Raw won everything tonight. I hated how the match started. They had Samoa Joe get beat quickly by Drew McIntyre again. I think McIntyre's going to beat Lesnar. I don't think it's going to be Braun at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be McIntyre. I think they're building up McIntyre huge. And then, they kind of traded falls. Soon after, actually later, I think Dolph Ziggler was eliminated next by Shane, actually. Yes. And then Braun Strowman goes on a tear. He eliminates Jeff Hardy, he eliminates Rey Mysterio, and he eliminates The Miz. When you have that, actually I also forgot to mention, Finn Balor was eliminated too. They eliminated Finn earlier. SmackDown, I eliminated Finn. But Finn's eliminated, and Braun goes on SmackDown gets the lead. I forgot the match. SmackDown gets the lead, but then Braun goes on the tear, eliminates 3 guys, and Raw ends up winning with Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and Drew McIntyre live. Braun finishes Shane McMahon. I mean, there was so much action. There was a lot of non-stop action. He had a lot of cool moments with the SmackDown team. The thing with the Raw team turning on each other, it kind of teased Braun's going to go crazy. They did the big Shane elbow drop spot from the top rope through Braun Strowman through an announce table. So there was a lot of action in this match. The crowd was into it. It was a fun match for sure. They teased that either side could win, because you kind of thought, it was Braun Strowman. I thought to myself, SmackDown's going to win, because Raw's winning everything. Okay, SmackDown's winning this match. Braun's going to go crazy. He's going to turn on everyone, and then SmackDown's going to win. I was wrong. Braun just wins. I guess he's getting his title shot, and he's probably losing to Brock Lesnar. After the match, Corbin attacks Strowman, and Strowman's angry, looks back at them. So, you had 3 sole survivors, Strowman, Lashley, and McIntyre. So, it was a fun match. There was a lot of cool parts in it, but it's like, the booking is what it is. Next, you had probably my favorite match of the night, and the best angle of the night. Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus who was supposed to be Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch's replacement, Charlotte Flair. So as soon as the match started, the fans start chanting, Becky, Becky. I'm thinking to myself, alright, here we go, they're going to hijack this match. But this match got Charlotte Flair very over. This was great. I loved it. I thought they had an amazing match. They went back and forth. There was so much shoot fighting here. I think Charlotte's probably a big fan of mixed martial arts, and Ronda Rousey's obviously a legendary MMA fighter. So they clearly had a lot of influence from that. There was a lot of grappling here, a lot of transitions. I like the transitions with the arm, but Ronda Rousey, I have to say, she is so fucking athletic. Her body, the way she just moves her body, it's like she's an insane athlete. It's insanity how crazy of an athlete she is and how flexible she is, even though she's like crazy built for a woman. I mean, she's thick as fuck. It's just, she is so flexible. I just noticed that. And I noticed that in UFC when she fought, she was super flexible. The way she got arm bars, but here all the transitions into the arm bars. I liked how she flipped Charlotte. I liked how Charlotte got a lot of offense in here. She cut Ronda Rousey up in the lips. Ronda Rousey had the injury in one of her fights when she lost. I think she had split lips, so I think that happened. I think Charlotte actually elbowed her by accident. So Ronda's bleeding, and eventually they stop the bleeding, but added to the match. They have a lot of brawling on the outside. Ronda looks like she's going to win. She's about to finish Charlotte with the armbar, but Charlotte keeps getting out of the armbar. Ronda keeps getting out of the figure eight. It's a great match. Fans are into Charlotte here. They're going for Charlotte. You can clearly tell Ronda, even though it's her hometown in Los Angeles, the fans here are hardcore, and they start to go for Charlotte Flair. And that was great for Charlotte. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this sucks for Becky. What's going to happen for Becky? Yeah. What's going on with Becky? I don't know what they're doing here, but this match ends. It's a great match. Charlotte just turns heel. Charlotte grabs a kendo stick, hits Ronda Rousey, and she beats the living fuck out of Ronda Rousey with this kendo stick. I felt sympathy for Ronda Rousey. Charlotte, I don't know, man. I knew she was supposed to go crazy, but it was nasty. It was fucking vicious, man. She took that kendo stick and she beat the living fuck out of Ronda. She beat her so many fucking times. It was painful to watch. I mean, I feel bad the way Ronda Rousey's gonna feel in the morning and when she has to take a shower and she feels the water on her wounds. Oh my god, that's gonna be painful. She beat her so fucking bad. Like, you can see the welts on Ronda. Like, these are some of the hardest kendo sticks I've ever seen, these shots. These are like ECW Tommy Dreamer kendo stick shots, Sandman shots. It was just fucking nasty. I even enjoy it. I think, oh my god, what the fuck? Why are they doing this? We talk about health and safety of thrusters, and Charlotte, when she's hitting Ronda, she misses and she hits Ronda in the fucking ear, and Ronda bleeds, and you can just see the welts. And then at the end, Charlotte's about to use a chair, then she hits Ronda, she leaves, but then she comes back and hits a natural selection on Ronda onto the chair. And then they tried to get sympathy for Ronda Rousey, and the fans chanted, "Thank you, Charlotte," and they chanted, they mocked Ronda. She got booed badly, at the end. But man, I don't know why they had to do that. Like, could they have to, I know they want to get Charlotte heel. I don't know where they're going. Are they going to go with Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte? I think that's the direction now. I hope they don't leave out Becky. I'm afraid they're going to do that. Imagine if they do something with Nia Jax. Imagine if they think, oh, we're going to make Nia a monster heel. She'll be Raw champ, and then it'll be Ronda and Charlotte, and then Becky and Nia. I hope that's not what they do, but I know they're going to push Nia, and she's going to get a whole bunch of wins on Raw. I just hope Ronda destroys her and rips her arm off at TLC, but fuck, they're pushing Nia. That really sucks. Anyway, for the woman, there was also a part in this match when Charlotte speared Ronda. It looked like she broke her in half. There was a lot of cool parts in this match, but yeah, just it was fucking nasty, man. And Ronda's bleeding from the mouth again. Jesus Christ. Main event, Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan. So they let these two main event. I'm thinking to myself, all right, SmackDown's going to get something. It's 5-0 Raw. It's a clean sweep. Either Braun's going to screw over Raw, and then even though Raw is going to win like 5-1, SmackDown gets the last laugh because they win the main event and their champion beats Raw's champion, or Raw's just going to win. And the way the match started, I'm thinking to myself, 100% Daniel Bryan's going to win. This is what I'm thinking to myself. This is what I was thinking. I know, crazy me. The first half of the match is a complete squash. It's Brock Lesnar killing Daniel Bryan. German suplexes. He German suplexes him on the back of the head, and Daniel Bryan sells it like he's dead. I knew Daniel Bryan was fine because they would have called up the X. He is killing Daniel Bryan. Brock Lesnar murders Daniel Bryan forever. I mean, hits him belly to back suplex, German suplex, boring as fuck. Brock taunts the crowd, hits it in F5, sees like it's over. But then Daniel Bryan gets a whole bunch of momentum, and like the next part of the match is completely dominated by Daniel Bryan. I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, Brock's actually gonna win. I was thinking Brock's gonna kill Daniel Bryan, then the ref's gonna get knocked out. Strowman comes, hits the power slams on Lesnar. He puts Daniel Bryan over Brock, and Daniel Bryan wins. No, that's not what we got. Daniel Bryan makes a babyface comeback, and all the stuff they did to turn Daniel Bryan heel is out the window now. Daniel Bryan is back as a babyface. Crowd is just loving Daniel Bryan. It's the yes kicks. He's going after Brock Lesnar, hits multiple drop kicks on Brock Lesnar, hits the running knee multiple times, Brock kicks out. It all changed when Daniel Bryan hit a low blow. That was the first thing that started it. Daniel Bryan has a yes lock. Brock uses he's tapping. I'm thinking to myself, no way Brock's tapping. I really wanted to see Daniel Bryan win. The crowd badly wanted Bryan to win. Brock ends up winning. He gets the F5. Like a second F5, I think, in the match. He pins Daniel Bryan. Brock Lesnar beats Daniel Bryan. It was a great match, but I don't know. I just always want to see that in a WrestleMania main event with Daniel Bryan beating Brock Lesnar. Made me want to see more of it. I guess we're never going to see that. We'll have to see Drew McIntyre slay the beast. Anyway, the match was still a lot of fun to watch live. Watching it, like, just in real time was just a lot of fun to watch. And the last two matches I loved. The last two matches were both great. Those were the two strongest parts of the show. I mean, the two main events, and it was a two-match show going into it. I wanted to see two matches. I wanted to see Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan. I wanted to see Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. And both those matches delivered. Both two great final matches. And when I look into that card, this is what I wanted to see. It was a two-match card. Those two final matches had to deliver, and they did. Both those matches were great, and I'd say Survivor Series is a thumbs up. A very good pay-per-view because it gave you its selling points was those two matches, and they both delivered. So Raw sweeps SmackDown 6-0. It's a complete sweep for Raw. It's probably a storyline with Shane McMahon. This is what it's going to lead to. So it is what it is. Raw wins 6-0. Maybe they go next year, and I think I'll make a prediction. Next year, SmackDown wins because they're going to Fox.